Okay. So, a quick question.
Yes, please.
You know, most of Sudanese they do call Ugandan a second home. As a Ugandan who stay with some of Sudanese and you study with them, so what do you know about them?
One thing I know about them is because I faced that challenge personally when we were in school, 2007. We faced a problem of language barrier. You could say something, and the person might think you're abusing him or her because you spoke your mother language. The person might think this guy is abusing me. You know, so that brought conflicts. Of course, it happens.
Yeah.
When you are not having a common language one can understand, like English or Swahili or any language a person can understand, a person might think that these people are what? Either backbiting me or they are abusing me, and yet it was false. It was caught wrong. It was caught wrong. That is another one thing. And another thing, they are short tempered. They're very short tempered. Another thing, those people, I don't know whether in Sudan you guys use hankies like here in Africa, here in Uganda, but here in Uganda,
Like what?
hankies.
Okay.
Person sneezes and he powers away. For us here, it's so disgusting here in Uganda.
And you have seen some of Sudanese
Very
doing that?
very many. They use their hands and smear on their clothing, which shows a bad image to Ugandans, because here in Uganda, it's abominable. For us, we consider cleanliness as the first priority in everything. Even you see, our king is always emphasizing life, what. So cleanliness has to be part of you.
Sure.
Yeah, that's why Baganda ladies, they are so smart, they are so well behaved. You can't see anyone more behaved like a Muganda woman.
You know, talking of this Muganda respect, do you know that most of West African guys, they are now coming for Ugandan ladies, specifically Baganda?
Because, you know why? Our dowry is cheap here.
Not matter of cheap, and the respect they give to a man.
But we don't ask for much dowry.
Okay.
Respect. Our girls here are raised well.
For sure.
They're raised with the high discipline. They're raised with the good behaviors, good cultural norms which are followed with principles. If you get a Muganda woman who is raised in a Christian family, you got a perfect woman. If you got a Muganda woman who is raised in a Christian home, a staunch Christian home, a solid Christian home, that is a gold you've won for yourself.
Because one guy, I have a friend of mine who is a Nigerian. He just left recently, like some 2 days back. He married one Uganda lady. I used to ask them why. They said that, Ugandan ladies, they are not like Nigerian. First of all, they don't demand too much. Secondly, like when the God was creating them, it's like he put in more effort to create mostly, especially Ugandan. Good shape. As they call it, nyash. I think it's one of the reasons. And plus the respect toward men.
Yeah.
Like whenever you find a Ugandan man, a Ugandan lady treating you like. But my question was, this thing is things happening to mostly like maybe abroad. But what do their parents think of cross international marriage, for example?
International marriage, some parents are very okay with it because cultures differ. Now, if for us here, if you happen to marry a Muzungu, it is okay. If you happen to marry anyone, it is okay. But they always are so inquisitive to know where is that person, what is the background of that person. Not the fact of just marrying anyhow, but the background is key. Here, background is very key. If actually we talked about respect.
Okay.
If I had not had respect, you would have not been my friend.
for sure.
But because of, you know, for us who are raised well here in Uganda, all people here in Uganda, the people, peaceful people, very lovely people, very welcoming people, very hospitable people. Here in Uganda, we share the little we have with others. I remember one time I visited your place, I never regretted to come back. The people tortured us in Sudan. They robbed us, they did us everything bad to us. But that never made me hate Sudanese. No, I never hate Sudanese because I know even in Uganda we have people who are
People are
hate.
not all the same. You know, as they say that the coin has two different faces. Okay.
Yeah, even here in Uganda we have some people from the ghetto who also might have done some dangers to foreigners.
Some foreigners, yeah.
And they also take a bad image. Ugandans are this. No, so that's why.
Ugandan.
That's why I put the question back at not all people are the same. As you say, the coins have different faces.
Yeah.
You might find, like now, you might find a Sudanese who have bad manners, and the next time you find Sudanese who are well behaved. And nowadays, I even see Sudanese who are Christians.
Bro.
They love God, fellowship every Sunday.
No, whenever you think so, before you think that Sudanese are not Christian, or what?
No, because the way they had that heart, that solid heart. You guys,
like South Sudanese, let me face physically. Like, okay, in Sudan, Christian could be like 2%, but when it came to South Sudanese, like 99 population are Christian.
Wow.
You have been praying with them in Omega Church.
Yeah, I see them every Sunday.
So,
that's what I'm saying. I was so overwhelmed. Like, hey, this Sudanese is not good.
Imagine.
It's like finding someone from Iran, telling me it is a Christian. Like,
by the way, they
are known for being Muslim.
Yeah. You know, I know there. One day, I went with one of my Sri Lanka. Shout out to Donishka. So he's at Sri Lanka. We went to a church, me and him. Then that church, St. Mary in Dubai, he saw a lot of Arab. Do you know that most of the Egyptian and what else now? Lebanese, most of them, they are Christian. So the guy was surprised and he was like, "You mean Arab also? They are
fellowship."
Yeah. I was like, "Yo, man, Christianity actually. If you see the what is this Syria, majority of them they're Orthodox. Like the highest population of them they're Christian, Orthodox. So it's like you may be surprised, but you will not know what that person is until you get to know them. Since you are surprised about Sudanese of them being Christian and the rest. So.
Yeah, good thing the Bible says we have to go and make disciples of this nation. So I feel good to see Christians all over
Uganda.
All over universe, not Uganda. Everywhere. You go and you find a Christian, that is your brother and sister. You feel like you're welcome, you feel like you're home. Yeah.
We'll continue talking. We are not yet done.
Yeah. So, I want to always welcome people to become Christians.
Yeah.
Christians full of life. Like this gospel artist Levickson who always says gospel music is full of life. Sure, indeed, gospel music is full of life.
So there's one of these things also. I used to hear back then. I don't know nowadays is there about Sudanese, South Sudanese coming and they dominate a lot of things. What were Ugandan? Because I had one of my friends by then. Because most of them they pretend here to be owning Uganda. Like most, whenever you go to the road, you may find those most expensive car, rich. What was the Ugandan youth thinks about?
For us, first of all.
But have you ever seen like in school?
Yeah, of course. When Sudanese came, they had a lot of money. They were rich because they had a lot of NGO companies that were supporting them. And many NGOs was funding them, like UNICEF, UN, many organizations were funding them. So that never bothered us. And on top of that, Sudan is landlocked. It's not a landlocked country. Sudan has it has a seaport, but they can import their own goods without a lot of taxes. But Uganda is a landlocked country. You have to be shipped for. That means things.
Do you know also South Sudan is a landlocked?
But these neighboring are not landlocked.
No, it's a landlocked.
Which
It's
country?
only it was Sudan and this Kenya. The same. I think Uganda is better even. Sometimes they use Lake Victoria. Okay, when Sudan was one, we used to use Port Sudan Port. Yeah. So
That's what I'm telling you. Sudan.
not only that, you know, most of the things you see, like they do happen. Not support from donors. Like if you see during the war, actually, yeah, it happened. But most of their family members, they went abroad. So whenever one of your, in a family, there is always a breadwinner.
Of course.
So whenever there is a one person who is outside there, doesn't matter, no matter what, he will work for the family. Whatever things they do outside, bring their family here, give them support, and do. And by then also, back in South Sudan, the rate, the currency were much better compared to Uganda and whatever. They were almost like $1 used to be £3. So they used to have a strong currency, and government as well was. Most of the people who are here, they are in government, and they have a little bit of whatever thing they corrupt. So you just come and buy a land. That's why you see most of them. I guess you have also seen that side of Munyonyo and some other part. They could get a land and the rest. So the government, and they have a lot of resources. They have oil, they have gold. It's just the way they use their resources. They just go to some individual, and those individuals, they are the one you see with their family mostly here.
Okay.
I think these things of donors, most of the people who are refugees, they're just there, but I don't think whether these refugees help them.
Yeah, let me just do some adjustments here.
Yeah, basi. It's okay like that now.
Yeah, better.
Better.
Yeah.
It was a little bit. Yeah. So that's it.
Okay. Any question?
Yep. So about Nigerian.
For me,
why do most of East African, anyway, you are not a lady, you may not know, but why do most of the ladies currently nowadays try to prepare?
it's because let me say social media and visions that we see can lie. People here, not even in Africa or everywhere, people live in dreams. People live a life of dreams. You see my brother Chijoke driving a car. You also want to drive a car. But Chijoke gets the money. Sometimes Chijoke might be even borrowing everything he has, and he is working in a life of dream life, and you think that this guy is well off. Kumbe, the guy is just having what we call fake life, living a fake life. So the problem here we've got, there is this song of this guy, Just the Way You Are, Tyrus Riley. And that song has a message. Doesn't matter. Yes, if you are the way you are, if you are proud of yourself, like I remember one time, and a lady asked me back then when you used to go for gym. That why do you go for gym? I was like, I want to look well. I want to be looking nice in my outfits. And like, no, you want to change your identity. You're not proud of who you are. Now
Yeah,
you have to be
sometimes
like,
you just go to gym because of your health. You
yeah.
just need to look
So
good.
the lady was arguing that I don't. That's why she also goes to Faco to do
Oh,
what? Because
BBL.
yeah. So it's because she has admired someone else who's living a fake life, or someone who's might not be a fake life, but someone else who's living his own life. So you don't want to live your own life, you want to live someone else's life. So that's the biggest challenge. Yeah.
So, do you have any message to
The
such
message
people?
I can have for my fellow young youths out there, that be
Be
just
who
the
you
way
are.
you are. Be who you are. Just know your identity and know yourself, know who you are. That will help you so much to win a lot of challenges here in your area, everywhere you go.
Sure. Finally, the last question. Are you a visa hunter? You know, these Bazungu nowadays, they came up with a name like, whenever most of them came here, if they come,
Mm.
they say that Africa nowadays is full of some scammers. They are visa chasers. Somebody, whenever you just see a Muzungu, you just want to approach them with the intention
Mm.
of you're going to sack her or whatever thing. That you may wanted a visa from her, or you may think that he or she may had some money.
That is
So,
the longer perspective, and
and I know that you
Yeah.
have been interacting with a lot of Muzungu.
yeah,
So
yeah,
there
yeah.
are-
You know, one thing I've learned just of recent. When you grow up, we see a lot of things. Eh? Back then, we used to praise the whites. I tell you whites are nice because we didn't know we were blindfolded. You know, it's like it's like if you have your father and you're making money for your father then who decides what to pay you.
exactly.
So the same way, those people blinded fold us because they are wealthier, not because they are true. We are rich. Africa is rich.
More than them.
We are more richer than them. We have a lot of minerals, a lot of everything here in Africa is good. Why if they are saying now those people have actually, I hate one thing about those people. They came to our land back then. They according to history,
Yeah.
they came, the explorers, they came to Africa and they started exploring what they found here.
Yeah.
And they started actually naming them their names.
Like I hear Victoria Falls.
Yes.
It was discovered by who? But there were people staying
Yeah, there
there
are
before it
people
was Victoria Falls.
before actually they saw them. They found people already there who are living in that area. They found people here in Africa. We have a lake here called Mutanzige, Lake Albert.
Yeah.
That lake was called Mutanzige. Then when Albert came, he named it Lake Albert. But in actual sense, that is the fourth thing. Albert found that lake there. That lake used to kill. We call them. There are some things that there are some actually they call them, for us in Uganda we call them nzige.
Yeah, I heard of it before.
Yeah, the locusts.
Yeah.
In English.
Yeah.
Locusts. So that lake used to, because locusts cannot fly a long distance.
Yeah.
So they used to cross. They had to cross from to come this way, and they all die in the water. It's because they can't fly for long. They just fly for a short distance and they stop. So all those locusts died from that lake, and those Ugandans who were there back then, they named that lake Muta and Zige, because no locust has ever escaped across that lake. So when Albert came, he named it Lake Albert. But according to history, everything here in Uganda was already in existence. Those people, if they think that the Africans, when they see them, they feel like it's because they are the one that created that thing to happen. Because we all grew up like we wanted the Bazungu, Muzungu to give you shit, Muzungu to do this, Muzungu to have dollars, Muzungu to do this, because they are the people that started that thing. But even you can be a Muzungu. Do you know how you can be a Muzungu? How? People want people who give
moment you have
The moment you have something, you become a Muzungu. It's not about color what. No?
Okay.
As long as you have something to give to people, you're a Muzungu. A person who does charity, a person who does good things is a Muzungu. But it is wrong. Everyone can be a Muzungu.
Sure.
Yeah.
You know, you know what you just said before, we were just kind of blindfolded, like mostly because I've seen one guy was saying, you see, whenever you see a green, like a land is green on the other side, there's a process which the owner made for you to look at that green. It could not just be green if it doesn't water it. So basically, like Africa here is like we have one of the most fertiles, lot of minerals, but it's just because of a kind of leaders and the way they take care of it. But otherwise, Africa is the more greener than.
You know why Uganda is called the Pearl of Africa?
Let me get to know. I even don't know.
Uganda is called the Pearl of Africa because Uganda is blessed.
Okay.
As I was starting in the beginning, I remember we shared about Africa being with cool climate, balanced weather, everything here. Just plant a seed and it grows.
Fertile land, yeah.
That cannot happen here. Our land is very fertile.
Because like yeah, in East Africa general, Uganda is like supplying food to almost how many countries? They
Uganda,
export almost like 4 or 5. Like,
we have many types of food. Even I can't even know. We grow a lot of food here.
Okay.
Uganda, as I told you, everyone can survive in Uganda because we have plenty of food. We have cassava, which grows for only 1 year, 9 months,
Yeah.
10 months, you eat cassava. Sweet potatoes, 9 months, you eat sweet potatoes. Cabbages, you eat cabbages for a short period of
Daily,
time.
yeah.
Everything here is in plenty.
For sure.
We have peanuts. I don't know how many types of peanuts. We have beans. I don't know how many types of beans. We have peas. We have sauces.
So, have you ever think of traveling out Uganda?
Of course, I love traveling, and I want to go to the Alps, the Swiss Alps. I want to go to Switzerland
Oh, Switzerland.
to
Okay.
see the Swiss Alps that I studied in geography here.
Okay.
Because
As you're going there, are you going to stay or just
I just want
you know
to go.
because there are two different things. There is going where you are going to stay, to leave Uganda and go and stay there, or just to go for your own vacation and because everyone has his or her own dream destination to visit and you come back.
You know why Sabbath say that east or west home is the best.
For sure.
It's because when I'm here at my motherland, I feel safe. I feel okay. Everywhere I walk, everyone might not know me, but no one can point at me. You get the point?
Yeah, sure.
You go to United States, you look at this monkey. They call us monkey.
No, not only in US. I think
just go
it's
to
all over the world.
those
As
countries.
a black man,
Yeah.
wherever you go to, you always a victim.
Yes. So
The only place you can call home, Africa.
yeah. So
Doesn't matter where you come from, it's a Caribbean, either where, so long as you are black.
So for me, I don't want those things of becoming a racist in. If the people isolate me in a country that I'm not born in, it is their right because that is not my motherland. But if I mean here in Uganda, no one can point at me and look at this black man. Who? You get the point. But if I go there to those whites, they will see me as an old man out. They will see me. They see and you go to buy something and they wait to see you and they wait to hear from this. What is this black guy going to say? You know. So that is east or west, home is the best.
Home is the best. You know what? Sometimes, like we don't need to talk about races, but it's actual things, the things which normally happen. Mostly like Gulf country. To my surprise, I thought African, like we do have this Arab Africa, mostly like northern part of Africa. They're the one who hate black African most than they original Arabs who are actually those Arabs, especially Morocco, Tunis, Egypt. I'm not saying all of them, but some few of them, most of them, you may find Arab, they could be cool with that black person. But the moment you find Arab, African, it's your boss or whatever, the act is like they own the entire Gulf country. I witnessed. One of the time we were going to a club, there was a lady, with the way they dressing is like kind of normal. They stopped one black lady because the way she dressed and the what, and it was black American. She was going to a club, they stopped her. She was asking why. For them, they thought she was one of a lady who do those prostitution, whatever. But why do they stop her? Because of her color. And I'm sure if it was somewhere in Africa where
who can tamper with a fellow black?
no,
That's why if we have, I don't know how many tribes we have in Africa.
she's going to pay her own money, she's going to do whatever things, but because of what they think of Africa.
Yeah, racism is in those countries, but here in our country, we are not racist. Welcome everyone. Welcome. That's why we have many tribes here. I can't count how many tribes you have in Uganda. If you go to every corner of Uganda, you find like how many, I don't know how many people. Everyone is speaking his own language.
So diverse.
Everyone, and they love Uganda. I don't know why everyone is running to Uganda, but that shows that Uganda is really blessed and Uganda is hospitable.
Sure.
Because there are so many countries. Kenya is there. Some countries are near, but why Uganda? Yeah, some other countries are there. Kenya, Tanzania, but why did they run to Uganda? You see, you have so many Kenyans here. When you see Tanzanians are here, when you see Congolese are here, Sudanese, Eritreans, Somalis, a lot. I can't calculate. Even this Muzungu who is contesting for Senate in US was born here in Uganda. He grew up in Uganda. I know Uganda very well.
Yeah. This old guy,
Yeah.
I've seen with some of his son. He was by Eastern, They were in Eastern Uganda.
Yeah, in Uganda, it's
because I see the son was speaking fluent Uganda.
That's what I'm telling you.
More than me.
They're born here in Uganda, so that shows that people love Uganda. If you go, actually, Uganda, if I happen to suggest Uganda should be the common language in East Africa.
No way.
Because everyone can speak Luganda.
No way that thing.
But the Swahili is very hard. Swahili would have been a common language.
Swahili is one of the easiest. I don't know.
But Swahili is the
Not
hardest.
because I know, but it's very easy than Luganda.
Luganda is very easy. Jangu wano. Kujapa.
You see, it's like similar. That's why I say Swahili it's like combination of Arab, Hindi. My surprise, is it Zambia or where? Is it Zambia or Malawi? They are very similar language with Luganda.
Sure.
I think it's Zambia, something like that. Zambia or Zimbabwe, one of the two.
Zimbabwe.
They are very similar. The way Uganda it could be just different of pronunciation, but it may mean the same things.
And that is Zimbabwe.
So it's like, yeah.
Maybe they might be part of Bantu people according to history.
And I was shocked even when I get, yeah, it's Zimbabwe. Because did you see I don't know who this thing is going down by itself or what? You lock it.